Oh, I said I was going to tell y'all a story time. On how do you ever cook? No. On how I became in the prison lifestyle. So I'm just kidding. Yeah, I do cook, but I haven't had a car to go get my groceries. My car doesn't have my keys. So tomorrow when I get my new car, I'm going to put a grocery order in and I'm going to go get groceries. And then I'm going to cook. So yeah. I don't have a way to go like around town or anything. And in my town, you don't have I don't think you can deliver your groceries, to be honest. So yeah. Like, I barely got my mom to get my rent money out the bank for me so I could pay rent. So, yeah. It sucks. Like, I have my car, but I don't have my keys. So, yeah. Anyways, when I was a little girl, my dad's best friend was incarcerated. From the 80s up until I was an adult. So every weekend when I was a little girl, we would go visit him at different prisons. And I remember there was numerous times, because back in the day when, like in the 90s, you couldn't see on the website if the prison had a lockdown, or there was like prison wife groups like there is now. So we would like get up early in the morning and drive like 5 hours to his prison, 4 hours, however far he was, because he's been to like every prison in Texas. Okay. So sometimes when we would get to the prison, they would tell us, oh, they're on lockdown, you have to turn around and go back home. And my dad would be like, what? Like, so, yeah. And then like when we would go visit him, I remember getting coins from, like quarters from the machine, how they do now. And he was always in lockup. So he always came out in shackles and handcuffs. Mind you, he was in a wheelchair, so he only had one leg. And they would still bring him out in shackles and handcuffs. Okay? And so the whole time he was in prison, he was in trouble. Like, literally. He was always behind the cage. He was always, like, it was rare that we would get a contact visit with him. And so, yeah, I would pick the snacks for him and we would buy him, and then we would give them to the officer, how they do, and they would give them to him. And so he would always send us like handkerchiefs with drawings. He always wrote us letters. Well, my dad, till this day, I think my dad still has all his letters. He's out of the prison now, but and so, just growing up, I was always visiting prisons to visit my dad's best friend. And, I would always watch cop shows, like the TV show Cops. I would always watch that show. I always watched, like crime documentaries. I always watched like 911. So like, I was always into that kind of stuff since I was a young girl. And then as I got older, I just had this thing to be with somebody incarcerated. Like, I don't know, I liked bad boys. Okay, so yeah, that's how my prison lifestyle started. Like, I wasn't just brought into this life, you know. It was literally like, since the age of I can remember, I was growing up going into prisons to visit my dad's best friend. So my brother wouldn't go with us, but I would be the only one to go. Even my sister wouldn't go. I would be the only one. So it would always be, or like my dad would be like, okay, who wants to go with me? And I would always say me. Like, I just had this thing about prisons. I don't know what it is, to be honest. So yeah, that's what started my prison life, to be honest, you guys. Y'all might think it's weird, but I'm giving y'all a little insight on how I grew up into the prison lifestyle. Because I don't think I ever told anybody that, to be honest. I mean, I probably told my followers that that followed me from way back when. But yeah, so don't think I just woke up one day and was like, oh, I'm gonna be a prison wife. No. And then it happened that my first incarcerated husband, it just so happened that he was incarcerated from a very young age, you know. So, and then ever since then, I've just been with inmates. I have had guys out here in the free world, like in between, but it's not the same. So yeah, that's my little story on that.